विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ Verse 52 विकल्पतदभावाभ्याम् असंस्पृष्टात्मवस्तुनि विकल्पितत्वलक्ष्यत्व सम्बन्धाद्यास्तु कल्पिताः। So we are discussing a mananam portion here, and we have completed the Shravanam portion between 38 to 43 verse number. 33 to 48, I'm sorry. And in that we have shown how through Mahavakya and through different prakriyas we can gain the knowledge of Atma, etc. Then in Mananam, of course, that knowledge should be free from the doubt. And for that purpose, a sample has been taken. A sample doubt has been taken. And that doubt was raised by a Purvapakshi and Nayayika. And he said, well, this what you talk about, your subject matter in Vedanta, as you said, Nirgunam Brahma, etc. Well, you said you have listened for many years and now you know that, well, I am Nirgunam Brahma, Atma is Nirgunam Brahma, etc. Atma is limitless consciousness, free from attributes, etc. Well, but that doesn't, it is not true, because there is nothing called Nirgunam, etc. And then he showed his own way that, well, everything is having a property, etc. Every object, every substance has a property. And so we don't find anything which is having, any substance or any object, let's say, any entity which is free from any attribute. Well, you cannot gain the knowledge, definitely. Anything which does not have attribute, you cannot gain the knowledge. And therefore, how are you talking about Nirguna Brahma Jnana? No, we are definite in Atma is that Nirguna Brahma. It is not an object, it is a subject, etc. But that subject, but then at least that is revealed by what? Who gives you this jnana? Well, Shastra gives the knowledge, this jnana. Well, this is a guna. So that is, Nirguna Brahma is revealed and Shastra is a revealer. And that itself, there is a Veda between them. There is a difference between them. The difference itself is a property. And then that's how, so he said Nirgunam Brahma cannot be known. In fact, no words can reveal. That's correct also. It is very correct. And we are going to discuss that thing. Whatever we say regarding Nirgunam Brahma, that is all in a Vyavahara. Really speaking, we cannot use a single word. Even the word Brahman cannot be used. The word Satchidananda, nothing can be used. But anyway, so we are using words, it cannot reveal, in fact, Nirguna Vastu. From one standpoint, it is correct also. But anyway, he says there is nothing called Nirgunam because your Shabda Pramana cannot reveal Nirguna Vastu. Shabda always reveals, which is having a jati, guna, kriya, etc. And some property here and there, something will be there. And it only reveals a saguna vastu. And when if it is saguna vastu, then you should not be interested. Don't try to show your curiosity. Because saguna vastu, you only have proved, and you are sitting in a chair and saying this sagunam vastu is mithya. Because the entire jagat, how will you say Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya? Jagat is what? It's sagunam. All, and therefore that also is a Brahman in your definition. Jagat also is Brahman, but that is sagunam Brahman, that is mithya. So, well, if everything is sagunam and you are not interested, you will not, you will not, by knowing that, no purpose would be served. No mithya vastu can serve your purpose. And therefore, your purpose is a param purushartha, moksha, freedom. Well, you cannot gain it. Anyway, so this is how it is. And then we said, what is saguna? I'm just reminding you, don't worry, I'm taking you again into the whole thing. I'm just reminding you because I have to discuss this verse number 52, that is why. And then, well, we said, what is sagunam? Please let us know this. What is sagunam? Forget about nirgunam, there is nothing called nirgunam, but what is sagunam? Sagunam means, well, he said sagunam means a substance having a property. It's called sagunam. And then, okay, substance and property, two things, yeah. Let's take that way. And what's your definition of substance? Well, substance is something which is supporter of a gunas. And guna is something which is supported by the substance. So one is a ashraya, other is a ashrita. Ashraya means a supporter or supporting, and ashrita, supported. So this is how we define. And then we showed, all fallacies. I will not go. So all fallacies, 5 fallacies we have shown. You cannot establish a relationship between a substance and a property. And therefore, dravya and guna in his language. Substance means a dravya and guna. And if you try to see the relationship between them, sagunam means a substance having property. But then let's see what is the relationship between substance and property. And that supporting relationship, when we try to analyze into that, we found there are 5 fallacies. And these are all logical fallacies. We should know, so this is, nothing like, it has nothing to do with, this kind of a doshas are there in the arguments, in the thinking, logical thinking we are showing the doubts. And so it has nothing with this Bijankura, etc. and all. That is a different kind of a thing. But anyway, what I'm saying is basically, saguna vastu cannot be established because we are not able to establish the relationship between a substance and a guna, dravya and a guna. And not only you have these 2 things, you assume in your philosophy, you have 7 categories. You say the whole universe, we say it is Brahman, one thing. They say no, 7. There are 7 things. What are the 7 things? Well, first is that substance, dravya. Second is that guna. And then he says jati also is there. Kriya is there. Action, activity is there pertaining to the dravya. And dravya, guna, kriya, then jati, or samanya, generality is also there. Species, you can say. And then vishesha, some specific thing, particularity also is there. And in a substance. And then, vishesha, then samavaya is there. Samavaya means inherence of dravya and guna, dravya and jati, dravya and kriya, dravya and vishesha. Inherence means you cannot separate them. That's called samavaya. So here, dravya is a clip. That's a dravya, substance. And it has a property called, let's say, this color. They count 24 types of properties. One of them is color. So let's say the color. Now color and that is guna and the dravya, substance, cannot be separated. I can't take away this color and it will just hang in the space. It won't be. No, Samaj, we can take it out the color. You can take it out color. You can make it colorless by some chemical, let's say. But that color will go in that chemical. So always there will be some substance in which the guna will rest. And so that's called inherence, samvaya they call. That's also part of the world. So dravya guna, dravya kriya, dravya jati, dravya vishesha. Substance is something in which this guna, kriya, jati, vishesha all are supported, and there is an inherence relationship, means you cannot separate them. Dravya and kriya you cannot separate. Well, you cannot separate my speaking action, right? I am the person, a substance, let's say, which has certain jati, which has certain property, which has certain vishesha also, certain particularity, and kriya also. You cannot separate them. Guna cannot separate from me, and vishesha cannot be separated, species cannot be separated. Swamiji, you will be there, but that humanness will go away. It is not, it's impossible. And same way, this, action, etc. So this is an inherence relationship, inherence. So these six, and the seventh they consider it as a abhava. Abhava, absence also is there. So because you use word, remaining in the world, in a transaction you use the word, this is absent, this is non-existent, this is there, etc., etc. And therefore abhava also is there. So these seven categories. We say the very first thing between dravya and guna itself, you are not able to find the relationship. Where is a question of further? So forget about all this. This apparent plurality consisting of dravya, guna, kriya, jati, all sambandha is all because of maya. Don't think there are two things. And if there are two things, reality is there, then we can establish relationship. Why there should be a problem? If two things, true, real things are connected, then we can definitely establish a relationship. Why should not? But we are not able to establish a relationship itself shows that this really may not be true, two things. Any two things are there, you can establish relationship, any kind of relationship. You can establish. And therefore, your sagunam, a substance with a guna, or substance with a kriya, substance with a jati, substance with a vishesha, etc., is not there. It's all because of maya. You are seeing pluralities because of maya. And that's what we are saying, that Brahman actually, along with the maya, appears in the form of plurality. There is so apparently you find all these gunas, etc., kriya, etc. That's all mithya. That's how we say sagunam mithya. And actually the adhishthanam is free from all attributes, because through maya all this plurality is there. And that becomes a cause of a samsara also, all this, the plurality, advaitam, etc. And the fact that, so once you give you give a reality to this dvaita prapancha, then definitely it becomes a cause of samsara. He says how? How it becomes a cause of samsara? Just because the plurality is there, it's a cause of samsara? Yeah, we say. Just as this is our experience, we say the sapna prapancha as such, it becomes a problem when we really attach reality to it. Well, when you Jagrat Avastha also becomes a problem in the same way, samsara, when we attribute reality to Jagrat Prapancha. Samsara and you can see in your own experience that samsara gets eliminated. Well, only by understanding the mithyatvam of the dream world. Otherwise, when you are in a dream and dream world is real for you, you will have a lot of fear or anything. It is. Or you may have anger also. Suppose you see a person who is your enemy and he is doing something against you. Even after repeated, advice and so much of understanding given to him, he is doing something against you. Then you get anger also in the dream, suppose. So all samsara is there when you see, when you are in a dream and giving a reality to the dream. Once you understand the mithyatvam of a dream world, then definitely goes. But how can you see the mithyatvam of the dream world? That's the only way mithyatvam of the plurality that is there in the dream world. That is only when you wake up. There is no way out. There is no way out. Once you wake up, you find that there is nothing other than you. Well, then the whole thing, the plurality, has gone away. You know that you are non-dual. As a waker, non-dual. Nothing other than you. There is nothing. You are advayam. So far as with respect to Swapna Prapancha, you are advayam. You are non-dual. Nothing other than you. And therefore, basically, plurality You are seeing the plurality and giving a reality to the plurality basically, or a duality, let's say, definitely you will have a problem. And here also same way in Jagrat Prapancha also, well, you and me all are trying to solve the problem, samsara, etc. And seeing the plurality, seeing the duality, and giving a reality to the duality. This is an object of fear, and this is an object of my anger, and this is object of my greed, etc. Any kind of thing. So that is how we have a samsara also in a waking state, and here we have to wake up. Then from the dream you have woken up, and you have understood that a non-dual waker. Same way here also you have to wake up. That's the only thing to be done. And therefore, without knowing the waker as such, which is the truth of the Sapna Prapancha, well, we cannot falsify the dream world. Similarly, the waking world also cannot be falsified without waking up to the truth of this Jagrat Prapancha, and that is Brahman. And therefore, there is no real duality or plurality, and therefore, seeing the plurality and saying Sagunam Brahma, etc., Guna, and then definitely it's Ashraya, etc., is all your basic assumption about dividing the world into 7 categories, etc. itself, and then that plurality is a satyam for you. Well, whole thing is not correct, and therefore you should know that like the waker is non-dual, well, same way here also, the truth of this entire world is basically in Nirgunam Brahma, which is non-dual, free from any attributes. Any attribute comes means a duality comes. Definitely. Attribute comes means a duality comes. Well, there is no, this Advayam Brahma actually is, one should know. One should wake up. One should wake up to the reality of this entire world. Then you will understand this is Mithya. You cannot understand Mithya without knowing the reality. How can you say this is Mithya? If you say Mithya, there itself you are seeing something Satyam. Otherwise you cannot say. Well, I say when the snake is Mithya, then definitely I am seeing rope. Otherwise, how can I say snake is Mithya? If I don't see the rope, and then the snake will be the reality. And therefore, to understand basically the creation is Mithya, well, definitely one has to wake up to the reality of this world, and that is non-dual Brahman. Just as a waker becomes an entire plural world of dream world, well, same way here also it is. So, Uttishtata Jagrata Prapya Varan Nibodha, the Kathopanishad says, Uttishtata, well, you wake up. A waking person is told, a Nachiketa, who is right now listening to, suppose, Lord Yama, he is in a waking state, but still he has been told, Uttishtata Jagrata, well, still wake up, means there is, still we are in a dream. And therefore, this is how it has been narrated. So we are giving an answer like that. So, well, definitely this Brahman, which is a reality, we accept it, cannot be described in words, and which you told, we are accepting it, because all the words we use only describing Mithya Jagrat Prapancha. And so with these words also we cannot reveal the Brahman, which is reality of it. So Upanishad definitely finds it very difficult to reveal Brahman as such, but with a compromised language they use it. In a Vyavahara, at the level of Vyavahara, definitely we use all these words and we describe Brahman. And after describing Brahman also, the Upanishad negates all the descriptions also. Brahma is just pure existence, consciousness, and free from all attributes, and which is Nirgunam, etc. And so when we say free from attributes, because we are seeing attributes, and therefore to negate this prapancha, which is having attributes, well, to negate that, to show its mithyatvam, we say Brahman as a Nirgunam, actually. Otherwise, once it is negated, well, once it is negated, the prapancha has been negated, well, the saguna vastu has been negated, then there is a question of using a Nirgunam, etc. The word Nirgunam also is used because we are in this Vyavahara, we are seeing a lot of gunas, and we want to reveal the Brahman, which is definitely distinct from this, the things which are having gunas, etc. Like this world. So world which is having all these gunas, well, we want to show it is mithyatvam. So we say, well, this saguna vastu, this is jagat is mithya. So for that we have to show that Brahman, which is definitely which is vilakshanam, and the reality of this world must be nirguna. And so that's how we use word nirguna. We have introduced that word nirguna. But that word also after, you understand that this word, the world is mithya, etc., saguna vastu is mithya, then we need not have to keep on saying nirgunam, etc. Definitely. And therefore, this is the words also which are used, nirgunam, etc. Also, like another one, adhisthana. We use word adhisthana. Why should we use adhisthana? Because there is a adhyastha thing, adhyasa is there, that's how we have to use. Otherwise, why should I say Brahman is adhisthana? Because all these names and forms we want to introduce as a adhyasa, it is superimposed upon basically the Brahman. And therefore, we say Brahman is adhisthana of this entire creation, which is nothing but adhyasa. So with respect to what adhyasa, we tell Brahman as adhisthana. Once you understood, well, this is adhyasa and therefore it is mithya. And like I say, pot is a adhyasa and the clay is a adhisthana. If I say like that, then it is correct. But once you understand that pot is a adhyasa and pot is not a reality, well, definitely pot is superimposed and you analyze thoroughly that it is clay. Now I need not say clay is adhishthanam, because you yourself are telling clay, I see only clay now. Therefore, the word adhyasa also is gone, word adhishthanam also is gone. Word sakshi also is for what? For what? Like we use, no? What is that in our definition of Atma? Avasthatraya sakshi, right? Avasthatraya sakshi. So the three avasthas we count. And in the spell of ignorance, we say all these three avasthas are real also. Like Jagrat avastha. Whatever is in Jagrat avastha, we say real. Jagrat Purusha is real, the waker is real, waking world is real. And when we were in a dream, the dreamer is real and dream world is also real. And you show you see the duality also. And you get fear also and everything. So during dream, the dreamer and the dream world is a reality. And so same way, in the Sushupti also you consider it as this is a real. The deep sleeper is a real. And he is seeing, blankness, or he is experiencing ignorance, etc., total blankness, etc. He is experiencing happiness, etc. All these things you consider, real. These three states of experience you consider as a real. So we have to tell you, so Atma is a Sakshi, witness of all the three states. It has nothing to do with the waker, nothing to do with the dreamer, and it has nothing to do with the deep sleeper also. So you are seeing, thinking waker is a reality, dreamer is a reality, deep sleeper is a reality. So we have to introduce a fourth thing, Turiya. Yeah, in order to tell you that actually you are not waker. That's not your reality. Even though you are saying you are connecting waker with the I, but the I is basically Sakshi, which is present in all the three states, which is witness of all the three states. So we have to introduce a term Sakshi, the witness, because these three things, these three states of experiencing and the Ahankara in that, waker, deep sleeper and dreamer, etc. You are considering as a real, and then we have to say, they are just superimposed upon yourself, the consciousness. That's the real meaning of I, that is the Sakshi of all the three states. And once you understood, okay, I should not claim myself as a dreamer, waker, etc. You have understood they are just superimposition. Then once your understanding becomes clear, why should we keep on telling you are Sakshi, you are Sakshi, you are Sakshi? When Saksham was there, then we have to tell Sakshi. When Adhyasa, etc. was there, we say Adhisthana. To make you understand it is Adhyasa, we have to tell you the reality that is Adhisthana. To tell, all the three states are nothing but witnessed as, the waker, etc. also is witnessed by the Sakshi, that is consciousness. So we keep, with respect to Saksham, we keep Sakshi. With respect to Adhyasa, we keep Adhisthana, etc. With respect to the Saguna Prapancha, which is Mithya, we have to tell Nirgunam, etc. And like that, so many things. Well, you are in a world all the time you find yourself related in the world. You yourself you always experiences or introduce yourself as a very related person. So we say, well, you are not a related person. You are basically asanga. You are free from any relationship. So what asanga has a significance. So far, you feel that the sangha, etc., the connect, relation, etc., is there. Otherwise, once you say, well, I'm sure I am not connected to anything. Na guru, na shishya, etc., etc. So once you understand, well, whatever is there is just me. Now that me is not again told as asanga, sangha. To show you that you are not related to anything. Ultimately, that's your real nature. You are all pervasive, limitless thing cannot have any kind of relationship with anything. For relationship, you require at least one thing other than you, to which you are related, to whom you are related, etc. If that is not that you have understood that I am limitless Brahman, where is the question of now holding on to what asanga? No need. Please understand this. This is something very, very serious thing. So even though the teaching, that is how they are raising question against Vedanta. They say that the Nirgunam Vastu, well, Nirvishesham Vastu, they are trying to reveal through the words, and words cannot reveal it. That's correct. Very correct. No word can reveal Brahman, really speaking. Words can always describe guna, vishesha, jati, kriya, or some kind of a sambandha. We have seen all this. And therefore, how the teacher is employing words and also claiming that, well, I am imparting the knowledge of Nirgunam Brahma. How? Words cannot have a scope. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Upanishad also says. Yato vacha. Vacha means words. Yata, yasmat, brahmanaha. From this Brahman, without illumining, without revealing Brahman, the words written along with the mind. Mind cannot objectify. That also we have seen. Aprapya, without gaining this Brahman, without knowing the Brahman. Manasasaha nivartante. Well, along with the mind, the words come back. That's very correct. Upanishads itself says. Na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vak gacchati, no manaha, etc. So, well, eyes cannot reach to Brahman, etc. Na vak gacchati, words cannot reach. So, well, so nirgunam, asangam, adhishthanam, sakshi, etc., asanga, etc. So many words are there. Advaitam, the word Advaitam, Advayam. Advayam word also is really, this is all in a realm of this Vyavahara. Because we are seeing Dvaitam, etc. And we keep on seeing the plurality or the duality is one thing. Giving a reality to is another thing. So, well, all these things are, well, that is mithya, you have understood. And therefore, in your understanding that there is no plurality at all, whatever is there, well, everything is one thing alone. Then where is the question of using again Advaitam or Advayam, etc.? No need. So, once this Dvaita Prapancha is negated, the word Advaitam also is no more relevant. So, Upanishad introduces a language, and now we are answering to that person. Please understand, he has told Nirgunam Brahma cannot be revealed by the words. And so, we are telling that is correct, but please understand in a proper context. Why we are using it, you please understand it. Anyway, so definitely the I, the Brahman, cannot be described in words, definitely. And they've to make this understand, well, they give always one example. That there was a rich person in Kerala, who owned 17 elephants, You must have heard of this story perhaps. And and he wanted to leave behind after his death actually these elephants to his 3 sons. He has 3 sons. So he wrote a will in which he gave half of the elephants to his elder son. 1/3 of elephants to his second son, and 1/9 of the elephant to his last son. Now after his death, the sons found themselves having a problem executing the father's will, because 17 elephants has to be distributed among the 3 brothers. So they could not divide 17 elephants. So, and they were, I mean, they want to fulfill father's wish that this is to be done in this way only. So while they were wondering how to solve this problem, I mean, some one minister of that king, very intelligent, and he happened to, I mean, come along. I mean, he was taking around in the city, and then he come along, and then, well, they saw the minister. So all the three brothers went, approached him, and asked for the help. Then the minister who was riding an elephant said he can solve this problem. Well, and well, he can do it by adding his own elephant into that 17 elephants. But he did not get down from the elephant. And where he said, you bring all your elephants. And then all 17 elephants came along, and then all total, now they have become 18. Total 18 elephants are there now. And then he called the first son and said, well, since your father had left behind half of the elephants for you, definitely take the 9 elephants, right? Because there are 18. So half of it. So take 9 elephants. Then he gave 9 elephants to the first son. And now, actually, you can understand. So 8 elephants are there, and one of him, so on which he was sitting, the minister's own elephant. So he gave 9, means he gave the actually 8 elephants to that person. And then he then called the second son and asked him to take 6 elephants. Well, because he was due for 1/3 of the total number of elephants. So 18, so 1/3 means 6. So he gave away the 5 elephants also to him. And he called the last son, and then he was due for 2 elephants. I mean, so as his father had left behind that 1/9 of the elephant should be given. So 18, 1/9 means 2. So basically 2 elephants, so he has to be given. So so sons happily took the animals, and then minister continued on his round on the elephant he had come on, because they have got whatever they wanted, right? Whatever the elephants they wanted, each one has got it. And still, the minister has really not given his own elephant. He counted inside the number of elephants. When the distribution was going on, they could not do it. So he added his elephant. And then again, but he kept his own elephant, and yet the distribution was done. This is called Adhyaropa Apavada. This is our bread and butter. Adhyaropa and Apavada. Superimposition. So that is how when you see the entire creation with a lot of gunas, etc., then we say, well, the Brahman, which is a truth of everything, well, it is non-dual, it is a reality, and this is mithya. To introduce that, well, to make us understand Brahman, well, they use word nirguna. So definitely then we will not look upon as one of the entity like in the world, because everything in the creation is having a gunas, etc. And to show that, well, Brahman, which is the reality of the entire creation, is nirguna. So it makes us understand that the whole thing is sagunam. So once you understand this is sagunam, well, we take back the word nirguna. Like that minister has taken his word nirgunam. Now the minister has taken away his elephant. Same way we can also take away our own word nirgunam. We don't use later. Since you are seeing everything with the whole creation with gunas, and you give a reality to the entire creation, well, we say the Brahman, which is the reality, which is distinct from this creation, and definitely that is nirgunam. Same way, Advayam, etc., Sakshi, everything, Adhishthanam, etc. All these words we introduce to make the thing understand. And then we withdraw from those words also. So this is how we do. So that's what we are giving an answer to the Nayayikas. So Vikalpatad Abhavabhyam. Now let's go to the verse. Vikalpatad Abhavabhyam asapsprushta atmavastuni vikalpa. Vikalpa Vishesha. You can take all these seven things, because we are answering to him. So Vikalpa is equal to, we can take even, Dravya, Guna, Kriya, Jati, Samavaya, Abhava, etc., Samanya, etc. Jati means Samanya. So this all Samavaya, etc. Dravya, Guna, Kriya, Jati, Vishesha. Vishesha was left over. So Vishesha, Samavaya and Abhava, 7. So these are all Vikalpas. varieties, pluralities, etc. Tad abhavabhyam. So either this considering as a plurality, all this creation, or free from the pluralities. Or let's take one thing, guna. So vikalpa means a guna, and tad abhava means nirguna, means sagunam, nirgunam, etc. Asamsprushta atma vastuni. Atma is basically unconnected, not associated at all with either saguna or with nirguna. But since we have we consider and perceive and give reality to the gunas, etc., well, we say Atma, which is distinct from all this thing, and the Adhishthanam of everything, that reality is Nirguna. So to withdraw your, so that you can withdraw the reality given to this world. That is how we explain the reality which is Adhishthanam of everything as a Nirguna. So Vikalpa tadabhava. Vikalpa means, let's say, guna. Tadabhava means a nirgunam. So either. So there is nothing in the form of a saguna or a nirguna. And so asamsprushta. Asamsprushta means unconnected. So Atma is basic. Atma vastuni. Atma which is really not connected to nirgunam or sagunam. But as I told you, we have introduced the word nirgunam in order to make it distinct from sagunam. We have introduced the word adhishthanam in order to make it distinct from this adhyasa, etc. And therefore, so far adhyasa is there, well, we say this is adhishthanam. So far as, well, sangha, etc. is there, we say it is asangha, etc. And that's how other things are also there. So far as, one takes oneself as a ashuddham, etc., well, we use word shuddham. One takes oneself as ignorant, we say, well, Atma is basically Buddha, etc. One consider oneself as a Baddha, when we say definitely it is Mukta. So but once you understand that I don't have any bondage, well, I am free from any impurity, you have understood Atma Sarupa, then the word Shuddha has no much meaning, definitely. Or you need not have to keep on repeating, I am Shuddha, Shuddha. You have to repeat because you take yourself impure. And in terms of Punya Papa, etc. And so, or in terms of a certain negative emotion, etc. Well, you say, Swamiji, my mind is very dirty, etc. So, when you say my mind is dirty, that's a one thing. But that's a reality for you, that your mind and yourself is it is one because of the identification. Anyway, so this is how, since there are so many notions, wrong notions etc. are there, to remove each wrong notion, we will have thousands of words. And that is how Nityaha, Shuddha, Buddha, you consider yourself as a impermanent, subject to birth and death, etc. Well, then we say you are Nitya, you are timeless, etc. So anyway, and even in the knowledge itself also we have a three. I am a pramata, knower, and then Brahman is prameyam, and Shastra is a pramanam, etc. Shastra Acharya is a pramanam. Acharya's words are, that is Shastra's words. So while teaching itself, the student himself called a pramata, the student himself called pramata, teaching is a pramanam, and Brahman is prameyam. That is all vyavaharik drishtya. So please understand all these words, nirgunam, nishkriyam, etc., all this, advayam, all the words are in the realm of vyavaharika. Yeah, all in the realm of vyavaharika, all in the realm of teaching. The teaching itself is mithya, please understand. Brahma Vidya is mithya, Brahman is not mithya, Brahma Vidya is mithya. And whatever factors connected in the Brahma Vidya also are mithya. The teacher is mithya, the student is mithya. Na shasta, na shastram, na shishyo, na shiksha. You have heard several times, the guru and the shishya, etc. The guru is negated and shishya is negated. Brahma Vidya is negated, really. So all this is in realm of Vyavahara. And Brahma Vidya is in realm of Vyavahara, and the teacher which uses the words in the teaching of Brahman, that Advayam, etc., or Nirgunam, Nishkriyam, etc., also in the form of, in the realm of Vyavahara. So, once you understand very clearly Brahman, which is your nature, free from all these things, then, well, the words Nirgunam and Nishkriyam and all this loses the significance. They are mithya, they are in the realm of Vyavara. Vyavara means mithya, please understand. And so, from Vyavarik Drishtya, this Pramata, Pramana, Prameya, everything is there. And Laksham, there is Vikalpitatva, Lakshatva. So, Laksham, well, Brahman is a Laksham. Yeah, a Laksham. Through Mahavakya, well, Brahman is a Laksham ultimately. The Lakshartha we have to take of a Jiva and Lakshartha of Ishvara we have to take. What is the Lakshana? Bhagatyag Lakshana, etc. we have to employ. And basically one understands one as a consciousness. Jiva also is nothing but ultimately reality is a consciousness. That is a Lakshartha. Ishvara also is nothing but a Brahman or a consciousness. Lakshartha, Bhagatyag Lakshana, etc. Okay, correct. That's correct. But that is also in a Vyavara. While understanding Mahavakya, there is a part of the teaching, well, all these things are there. And therefore, once you have understood that I am Brahman, then no word is necessary and no word can reveal it also. This is all in a Vyavara. And therefore, while you are saying that revealer and revealed and that Veda is there and therefore Nirgunam cannot be possible and all, well, revealer, revealed, that is Pramanam and Prameyam, everything, all these are temporarily accepted and it's in the state of Vyavara only. So after revealing that Brahman, well, the revealer and revealed both are negated. Where is the question of having a Sagunam Brahman? You are saying revealer and revealed will be different, and that difference itself is an attribute, and therefore your Brahman is always with the attribute. We are after revealing Brahman, we negate both. We negate Shastra, that is revealer, and we negate the revealed also. In form of a revealed, also we negate it. So it's like the 18th elephant, which was just used at the time of transaction, at the time of distribution, and after it was over, it was withdrawn. The 18th elephant was withdrawn, and same way the Shastra, Shastram, Shishya, Shiksha, everything. Shastram is a teacher. Everything is ultimately gone. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Well, Chidananda Rupa. But Swamiji, Chit, yeah, that also is within Vyavara. Why? Chit means Chaitanya is also Vyavara? Yeah, Vyavara. Any word Vyavara. So only, well, who are you? When you say I am Chaitanya, why should I say I am consciousness? Why? You can imagine, we are doing all the time that exercise. I am consciousness, I am consciousness. Everything is evident to me. I am conscious of everything, therefore I am consciousness, I am consciousness, I am conscious. Why should I take? Because the body which is evident, which is an object of consciousness, has been taken as the consciousness or the self. That's how I have to say that I am consciousness. Well, body is an object of consciousness, I am consciousness, subject, etc., etc. And subject cannot be object, and etc. All these things are required because there is a confusion. Once the confusion is gone, then where is the question of using again consciousness? This self-evident and self-existent, all, literally. In fact, no word is left. All the words pertaining to the Atma or Brahman is a part of teaching, and that is employed by the teacher. And well, once the Shishya understands, that's over. But Swamiji, then still if I say that I am Brahman, I am wrong? You are not wrong. But what I am saying is words has a certain role. Once they play that role, and after that it has no role. And therefore, here everything is a part of teaching. Whatever we are employing, all the words pertaining to Atma, Brahman, is a part of teaching. And very Shastra is a mithya, Brahma Vidya is a mithya. What the words you use for the Brahman also is mithya. Everything is mithya. Actually, Brahman is silent. It is just the silence, nothing else. So, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivam. But Swamiji, I like to sing all the time. Well, keep on singing, don't worry. Nothing to worry. Just as you are doing other Vyavara, that is mithya, you know. You are not a Kartani as you are working as a Karta. You are not a Bhoktani at the 12 o'clock you become a Bhokta. So no problem. Nothing to worry about. Every Triputi is mithya. Bhokta, Bhogya and Bhoga, Karta, Karma and Karanam, etc. Everything is mithya. And there are Pramata, Pramana, Prameya. All are mithya. That's in Vyavahara only. That is how most of the time they never forget to even negate this Guru, Shastra, etc. Even in Mandukya Karika it has been negated. Several places it has been negated, etc. So everything is ultimately negated, and therefore this is sample mananam. Okay, this is a sample mananam. This is how, I mean, your knowledge should be free from any kind of a doubt. Well, that I am Brahman, in that there should not be any doubt. If somebody raises a question, Nirguna Brahman is not possible, cannot be revealed, this, that, etc., we can have a clarity. We need not answer. We are not obliged to answer anybody. Please understand. Vedanta is not obliged to answer anybody. And we are not going to lose also anything. Even if we won't answer, we are not going to lose anything. Let the person say whatever he wants to say. Whatever he says is mithya, definitely. And therefore, nothing to worry. But our intellect should be free from this doubt. We should convince ourselves. We may not convince others. Let's go to verse number 53. Itham vakyaisthadarthanu sandhanam shravanam bhavet yukta sambhavitatvanu sandhanam mananam tutat. We cannot keep a gap in between here because the words are joined. So, Vidyaranya formally concludes the topic of Shravanam and Mananam, fortunately for you, by giving a definition of both of them. Shravanam is a constant and systematic study of the scriptures for a length of time. We have seen that under the guidance of a good teacher, etc. And well, before you raise a doubt to the teacher, I think I told you, maybe perhaps while when we started Pancadasi in this session, I told you that once at least one has to go through a complete cycle of few Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita. And if it is possible, the 4 sutras of a Brahma Sutra, one has to definitely go through. And then one can see how much doubts I have. You can resolve the doubt in your own way also, or you can put a questions to the teacher, etc. That is up to you. But one has to go through at least. So when Shravanam should, not that just few verses of Bhagavad Gita I have heard and then I create a lot of doubts. Well, it won't help. And most of the time, perhaps you may be knowing also that the doubts which you have and you could not ask to the teacher, sometime in the next class or in the next few classes that get resolved also. You have seen that. So one has to go through the study, I mean have a complete study, systematic and study, and for a length of time. And one complete cycle means, as I told you, a complete Bhagavad Gita and few Upanishads and 4 sutras of a Brahma Sutra, first 4 sutras. They call it as a Brahma Sutra Chatussutri, that one has to study. Because Brahma Sutra 4 sutras itself will resolve thousands of doubts. The very first 4 sutras, so much. Starting from Adhyasa itself, you will not have any doubt pertaining to Adhyasa. The way Shankaracharya ji has established Adhyasa logically, it's marvel really. And therefore, person may have a very basic doubt. If this Vedantins all the time talk about Adhyasa, superimposition, I don't think that such a thing may be there. Because they may be a all cooked up story or something. You may be thinking that way. But a marvel has been done by Bhashyakara while introducing Brahma Sutra. We call it as Adhyasa Bhashyam. Beautifully, the Adhyasa has been very nicely established there. Anyway, so one has to go through that complete cycle. And then, well, you can, if you have a doubt, you can raise the doubt to the teacher or to your fellow students or something. You can discuss or something. So through Mahavakya Vichara, well, I get the message that, well, I am not a part of the world. The world is a supporter of me. Basically, I support the entire creation. I am Adhisthana of the entire creation. I am not this body, mind, sense complex. I am eternal consciousness, etc. This is all part of basically a Shravan, generated through the Mahavakya. analysis of a Mahavakya. And well, I am the one who makes evident everything. All the things exist because of me. All the things are evident because of me, and therefore their existence also is proved. They are non-separate from me. All this thing you can understand with the help of Shravan. And so before you expose yourself to this, teaching, well, you are thinking that, well, you are different, world is different, Ishvara is different if you are Astika. And then after study, after Shravana at least, you know now two things. One thing is that which you have negated from you, and one that is the reality. The Atma is a reality, and this Anatma, Deha, etc. is a mithya thing. Anatma is a mithya thing. So, definitely, this is your understanding from the Shravan. And once this is over, then still intellect can raise many questions. And let me make it very clear here. See, doubts, when I say, well, the doubts, this Mananam can resolve the doubts pertaining to the intellect. All intellectual doubts can be resolved here. Intellectual problems, let's say, can be resolved here by the Mananam. There are emotional issues that will, in this Mananam will not help in this. Emotional issues are there. Swamiji, I know I am Brahman, but I don't know, Swamiji, this anger does not go from me. Well, I am Brahman, Swamiji, but I several times I hear this, that, well, Brahman is basically timeless, etc., no fear, and therefore I should not have a fear of a death, etc. But I don't know, Swamiji, this fear of death and many other fears just don't go at all from me. So these are emotional issues. Mananam cannot help. There you will have, again, then the third step is coming, Nididhyasana. So emotional issues are addressed by Nididhyasana. Intellectual issues, well, are solved by Mananam, basically. And so this Mananam can solve this problem. So here it says Yuktya Sambhavita Tattvānusandhānam. Yukta Sambhavita Tattvānusandhānam. What has been told here? Itham Vakyehi Tadartha Anusandhanam Shravanam Bhavet. Tadartha, Mahavakya Artha. Anusandhanam, analysis, etc. That is a Shravanam. And Mananam is considered as Yuktya Sambhavitatva Anusandhanam Mananam Bhavet. So, Yukta Sambhavita, the intellectual process of this defending, this Advaita, that the knowledge which you have gained, you have to defend yourself. The logical doubts are there, etc. Intellectual doubts are there, and that has to be resolved with the help of Mananam, etc. And like this is also a doubt. Karmana moksha, etc. Natu jnanena. Well, karma alone can give you moksha, not this jnana. By not doing anything, how can you gain anything? By not doing anything, how can you gain anything? We have never seen. Not doing anything, just taking a cup of tea and solve problem forever. Have you seen? We have not seen any kind of thing. We have not seen. Bigger the problem, lot of things we have to do to solve that problem. And here we are solving the human problem, very basic problem of a fear and this and that. All the problems go. And we become happy 24/7, and we become secure 24/7. We will be peaceful 24/7 by not doing a single thing. In Gujarati they say, "Shekelo papad bag." This is how it is impossible. It is impossible to think of that. And well, so you have heard through the teacher that basically jnanam alone is sufficient for the goal which you want to achieve in your life, etc. And after listening, you said, why it doesn't look like, logically it doesn't sound properly. Because the whole world is working for peace, security and happiness, you see. They are all full. They cannot be full. All the 600 million people are full. Everyone day and day, a whole day they are toiling for these three things, and this person is sitting and drinking a coffee with the two toast, and he is saying he has solved the problem. No, I don't think so. Okay, so this doubt will, now it has to be resolved. karma cannot give moksha at all. Very first thing is. So when we'll have to start with what is moksha, etc. And then where the role of karma produces a karma phala of 4 types, etc. etc. I mean, this is just a sample. So definitely this doubts, your intellect will definitely create a doubts, and some of the doubts will be serious also. Like you have resolved, you feel that through Shravanam you have gained clarity until you meet your friend, that's all. And he is a Vishishtadvaiti and he tells something and you get disturbed. Even after many years of Shravanam, it may happen. If you feel that you are disturbed and you are not able to answer his queries, means there is a doubt, logical doubt. I mean, it has not, your knowledge is not free from the doubt. So you have to make it doubtless. And that is called Yuktya Sambhavita Tattvanusandhanam, means the intellectual process of defending this Advaitam against the onslaught of objections by one's own intellect or by our friends or by others or by other philosophers is Mananam. So this is Shravanam Mananam part is over. Now we'll have to start from verse 54 to 62. The last section of this first chapter belongs to Nididhyasanam, and here a very peculiar way of describing Nididhyasanam. Perhaps you may wonder, but we'll have to go through. And because he has adopted, Vidyaranya has adopted a terminology from Yoga Sutras, and so we'll have to take that way only. So including meditation, samadhi, etc. And how can it help in Nididhyasana, we'll have to see in the afternoon. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Hari Om Swamiji.